You know, one of my favorite things about watching anime is seeing a scene and just being able to, with my sick mind, turn it into something it's not. And that's where two brothers reuniting comes in a red light district. There's bound to be at least one person who be like, how dare you? That is disrespectful. That is disgusting. And to that I say, you're not suited to be around these parts. But what a great episode of Dr. Stone this week, man. I absolutely love what they did. I mean, we knew we were getting a very talented mind, but having it be Ryusei's brother was a twist I wasn't expecting. And honestly, the concept of taking someone who's been used his whole life into kind of forced into a box he didn't want to be in. How are we going to do that again in his second life? Well, we make a compromise. We use that brain of yours to make a computer. We get the mind in return because that computer can do the math we need and you can make video game. Very fucking wholesome. Anyway, let's jump into some reaction highlights and catch you back in a minute. Bomb the dam, because of course, Senku had one interaction with America and now he knows business, I guess. Let's see what we do next. He's like, I'm really good at guesstimates, but there's no guesstimates in space. Remember when this guy joined up with us because he wanted a bottle of cola? Look how far his investments paid off. Went in for the cola and left with literally modern Japan. Oh no, he's hot. I've always wanted this day to happen. Oh, he's gonna bust! He's gonna bust! Oh my god, this looks like a completely I think I might have downloaded the wrong Dr. Stone episode this week. Dr. Stone about to get down and dirty. Jesus Christ, huh? So he is just a human calculator. So why does he think low of himself? That's a pretty insane skill. Maybe it's just because he really wanted to do something simple with his life, and that's why he's like downplayed his intelligence. They better not know if they erased his code. Master can go fuck himself, or I can go in raw, your choice. Oh, it's his video games. All of his ideas he wants. Woo! We're bringing back Dragon Quest! Now, I really liked what they did with the development because Dr. Stone is no stranger to really compelling character arcs. And one of the biggest praises I think we as Dr. Stone fans should give this series is the fact that Senku isn't an all-powerful character. In the early stages, he absolutely was the main force. He did everything. Yes, he used people's talents, but at the end of the day, Senku was the driving force. But with Stone Wars onwards, I really feel like the show's bigger than just him. And with this final season, yeah, he even admits, I might be able to do the math problem he gave me, but it would take me a bajillion years if I wanted it to be precise. And I love how Senku even admits, too, the math he does is basically guesstimate. Because the math often doesn't need to be precise. But when they talk about how in NASA, their pi goes up 15 digits, because, yeah, you need that level of precision, right? I think that's why it's so cool that the Artemis mission that just happened not too long ago, a lot of people are like, oh, they just went up in space and flew around the moon. It's like, no, you don't realize, like, things don't just sit in a static spot the whole time. Things are, the amount of math that is required to get precision, absolute precision, is insane. So to have someone like this, but then they immediately are like, I have no interest. They immediately had that comedy because you have a brother, get him back here. But I do feel bad for Sai, man. I mean, at the end of the day, all he wanted to do was code. He had a passion for game design, for programming. And his parents and everyone just would use him. Hell, even his own brother. His brother's a fucking cinnamon roll, kind of an idiot, but his cinnamon roll nonetheless. He'd be like, okay, I need your math for my racetrack. At the end of the day, I do think it's important to have bonds, so I don't think it's necessarily wrong for a brother to say, I want to use your mind for this or that. But at the end of the day, when everyone's been using him for other things, I love the fact that Senku didn't say, you know what, we're going to do the same thing. If you make the rocket, then in return, someday in the future, 5 or 10 years from now, I'll make the computer for you. By essentially saying, actually, if this is what your mind's capable of, the type of design, we could speed up the concept of a computer. And if we can speed up the concept of a computer, we don't need your mind actively making the formulas on the fly. Because that's the big thing, right? It's not just simply like, oh, we need a computer to be able to get the thing moving. No, it's like Senku can do the math before a ship takes off. Like he could, it's just it'll take him a good while. The thing is that once you're in space, It's constant formulas. It's constant math that needs to happen. The littlest thing that changes that you're not prepared for, you have to redo the formula. That's where a computer comes in. Originally, someone like him is what was required, but if he has no passion for that, we don't need him. Now, I honestly believe he will go to space. I think after seeing what he did for him, I think he's going to say, you know what? I'm going to code in space a bit, but if you need me, maybe I'll do this. But I think he's going to be very appreciative that Senku is like the first person who's like truly like, hey, you don't have to come into space. Like, if you want to just sit here and make video games, you can do that now. We might need your help a couple times. Maybe there'll be a math formula we can't do. If you can do that for us, we're happy. And I think he's going to see that Senku is the first person who's like, you don't have to do something you don't want to. And in doing so, he's going to want to go to space with Senku. Because he knows the risk that, yes, what if the computer fails, right? What if communication fails? This is really good character writing. It's actually exceptional if you think about it. And the thing about talents, right? It is easy, and I think it's natural to see someone's mind as smart, because a character like him comes around, what, once every 1 in a million people? It's natural that you're like, oh, this would be where you should go in your life. You shouldn't be a simple game designer. You should be one of these best scientists. But at the end of the day, we are humans, and we deserve to make decisions on... If this man wanted to be a fucking burger flipper, well, I would absolutely look at that and say you are wasting your life. It's his life, right? At the end of the day. Now, I completely understand why he wants to do game design, right? But there's some people who be like, that's a waste of your life. Guess what? You can have that opinion, but it's not your life to make. And I think that's what's so interesting about his backstory. And despite us being in the final core, right, you would think there's not enough time to have a story arc for a new character, his shitty childhood, and where that's going to lead in the future. But somehow they manage. The pacing is a very interesting beast this season. On one hand, there's a lot of things that are a lot faster than sometimes even I would like, but it's not that it ruins it. It's just, yeah, you know, we have a shortened length to work with, and we don't always have time to watch how they build certain things. But I really appreciate that even with a shorter runtime left than maybe I would like, at the same time, they still have moments like these, moments that allow characters to shine, and that's really all that's important. Also helps that he's connected to one of our best boys, so that helps too. But either way, fan-fucking-tastic episode. Definitely thought I downloaded the wrong Dr. Stone episode for a minute there when Ryusei was looking down, and he was like, oh my god, are you coming for me? Gonna be at least one person mad that I made a joke about brothers like that. I look forward to it. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm loving the season of Dr. Stone. There's a couple shows. This one in Classroom of the Elite, I just do for the passion at this point, because no one actually cares about videos, but you can always prove me wrong. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz. But if you want to be a real one, head on over to the Patreon. Full live reactions live over there. And hey, they are the reason you get to even see these YouTube videos at all, so I gotta give those video shoutouts too, because my patrons are what make it all possible over here. Alright, so today we got Christoph Stenswowski, Anime Fan, Mia Lynch, Cert, Ampfloat Writer, Dark Shadow DX, Talix Rune, Rumham, and we also have Robert Sanders. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. You know, have a good one.